Hi, my name is Holly Fabel. I am the Community Development Specialist here at Jeff Gordon Chevrolet. I just wanted to explain to you what A Night to Remember is. It is our fundraiser for our walk team for a walk to end Alzheimer's Wilmington, which is being held on November 2nd in Wrightsville Beach. I had approached Jeremy from Pallet to kind of produce a fun fundraiser for our walk team. So we have a great evening planned, tasty, fun, and we're gonna raise a lot of funds.
So my name's Jeremy. I'm from Pallet Bottle Shop and Reserve. We're a wine store in the Brooklyn Arts District. We choose wines from family-owned vineyards, boutique types. We try to make sure that we kind of have some sort of relationship with the person making the wine. Whether we have a story to tell about the family that owns the vineyard, or we know the person that imports it here to Wilmington. So what we do is we choose wines to go with pretty much anything, sometimes dessert, particularly late harvest wines, or wines that are a grape that typically would be poured as a dry wine, but because it sat on the vine for an extra couple months, it breaks down the sugars and gets all great and ready to drink with desserts. We're doing an event coming up on October 4th, A Night to Remember. It is going to benefit the Walk to End Alzheimer's. So when figuring out this event, we wanted to do a dessert pairing with a wine, and I, through Instagram, found Elizabeth Wagner. She is a fantastic baker and dessert maker, and it was kind of a no-brainer to go immediately with her and do a pairing with her desserts. She came by, we tried wine, we tried her desserts, and it was immediately a hit, and we loved it. The wines paired well with exactly what she created. She's very, very talented, and it's going to be a great event.
I'm Beth Wagner with B Sweet Dessert Boutique, and I'm a blogger and baker. I make custom cakes and sweet treats, do a lot of my things on Instagram and share them on social media. Here I have a couple of pedophores and also macaroons to pair with different wines. These are similar to what we'll be doing for the Night to Remember event.
Hey guys, I'm Amber Lagaze. I'm Tori Light, and we're the owners of Spill Coffee Cart. How'd we get started? So we basically we both love coffee, and we just realized that that Wilmington didn't really have a mobile coffee cart offering therapeutic, alternative, healthy coffee. So here we are, hitting the streets of Wilmington. We hit different spots, different locations, different businesses, offering a partnership between them and us, serving coffee to their customers or just people walking the streets. We have the opportunity to pop up at Pallet, where we end up partnering and serving up
our CBD Nitro Cold Brew. So it's on tap always, anytime that when Spill's not out and about and you're wanting a Spill fix, you can always come to Pallet and get your CBD Cold Brew.
And speaking of that, Jeff Gordon Chevrolet is hosting A Night to Remember at Pallet, so you can get our coffee, hot, iced, or even the CBD Cold Brew that's on tap.
When it comes to pairing dessert and wine, it doesn't necessarily have to be a perfect pairing. I think that, like, when I try something and when you try something, we could get a different wine necessarily that would go with it. So that's why I like to call a pairing a curated complement, because it's what I think the dessert should go with. You know, when we tried the wines before and you brought your desserts, it was like we could go back and forth on which wine to go with what dessert. So with A Night to Remember, the guests will have the opportunity to choose their wine with each dessert. Like, we're just going to put out 4 desserts, put out 4 wines, and then people can choose kind of which is their favorite.
Right, and we want the desserts to be playful so that you can go from one to the other and back again, and really feel like there aren't any constraints. What you like, you can continue to have one wine with it, or you can switch to another. So it will be definitely what we like with certain wines, but feel free to go from one and to the other and try new things.
And with your desserts, like they've got this great balance to them, sweet and salty. And when it comes to these wines, and especially we've got one that's a late harvest Chardonnay. It drinks, it has a sweetness to it, but it also has like a minerality to it that will play with a salt content in desserts. And I mean, and then also with like some of the sherry that we're pairing with one of the desserts, that has this spice to it that's like kind of like peppercorn and like a depth to it that again like plays on the spice and not just the sweetness in the desserts.
Right. I think for a dessert and wine, you want to keep the sweetness levels equal so they're not fighting each other, but also take the notes like Jeremy mentioned, the spiciness or the minerality of it, and play with that.